curious to get your feedback on what you think the right level of technology is in a hotel. What are some of the services, aside from HotelFriend, that you're hearing from hoteliers out there that are additional pain points that need to be addressed, or technology services that they should be looking at?
It's an awesome question. The landscape is getting not small but huger. So you have, if you see the 80s or 90s or the 2000s, it was like there was an island. It's like a solution. You have another island. It's not next solution, and you have a boat. So the API between it, which bring some data from here to here. So like you have two islands and you're happy. You have a property management system, and you have it's like you have an Oracle system as a PMS, and you have a Micros Fidelio for POS. So you solve two stuff. The restaurant have one, and the guests have one, and you have just one API. And nowadays, if you go into the cloud, it's much more easier to solve small problems. And it's much easier to combine, because they're cloud and internet, to combine these solutions. So you have smaller islands and more boats between these islands. And this, it's beyond HotelFriend. It makes for every hotelier pretty hard to understand which small islands do I need and which not. And we have a client, he have 27 small solutions, so small or medium solutions. So if you understand that to administer, just to administer 27 solutions,
it's crazy.
So you have to
really
study
can't.
IT to administer it, and that makes the operation of a hotel pretty complex. And what we try to do is to find the most relevant islands and put them together. So without the small boats, and try to figure out a workflow and a process for the guests and for the hotel, where we see, okay, that's in general, it should work for everyone. And that was our idea beyond, okay, inside. So we need APIs, sure, for door opening systems, Wi-Fi, stuff like this, but we try to keep it for the hotelier easy, because we try to give them as much as possible from one hand. And that's our strategy.
It's interesting, the cost of implementing, and you just, when you were outlining that, it reminded me of one of the costs that we always struggled with was the cost of the API of when implementing, when plugging in a new system into Opera, or plugging a new system into, your revenue management system, whatever it is. There was always that additional cost that was hard to get our head around as to why it would be so expensive to do that. And oftentimes the process of getting that set up slowed implementation down to the point where, it could take what should only take a few days or maybe a week or two could take months to get put in place and then roll it out. And so, when you're outlaying all of this cash and you think that there's a strong value proposition of bringing this technology in, you're solving these problems, you've trained your staff, and then you just sit and you wait. And then, if it keeps getting delayed, then you have to retrain everybody, and you have to sort of get the energy level back up about these platforms. And that's a pain point I personally have dealt with in the past. I know other hoteliers have dealt with too. It's no wonder that this is such a frustrating time for hoteliers, because it's brutal. There's this technology landscape, and you've got everybody telling you have to invest in technology. This is the time to put contactless in your hotel. This is the time to do X, Y, and Z. And you're like, I don't even have any money to spend on technology, let alone roll something out.
And even for us techies, right? We see it with partners. They upgrade an API, and then you have to upgrade yours. And the costs for this upgrade, it's not necessary, not really necessary. It's kind of hidden cost for the customer. Have to pay the hotel, and that's these hidden costs are mostly unfair. So from my point of view, a lot of them are unfair. It's a kind of an old-fashioned business model to long live the API upgrades. But it's not fair and not customer friendly.
This was our episode with Denis Severyuk, CEO of HotelFriend. You can learn more about him and his company at hotellfriend.com. To see this full interview and others, you can find us on YouTube at The Proven Principles Podcast. You can also learn more about the show on our website, theprovenprinciplespodcast.com. This show is produced by Knowing Hospitality, a full-service hotel management and consulting company. Head over to knowinghospitality.com to learn more. Thanks again for listening. Until next time.